There's my son. That's me when we was a lot younger then. There's my mama. And I just thought I'd show you this. This is one of the reasons that I get up every day and I want to try to stop organ donating. But there's a picture. I told you I'd show you some more pictures. I will. I got one with him teaching. He's behind the pulpit. You know. I just wanted to. I thought maybe you'd like to see that. You want to know what it's all about. The Constitution of the United States. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. It was originally, the Constitution had no title. It just simply began with "We the People." And Article 1, in Section 1, it says, all legislative powers herein granted shall be vested in a Congress of the United States, which shall consist of a Senate and a House of Representatives. The House of Representatives shall be composed of members chosen every second year by the people of several states. No person shall be a representative who shall not have attained the age of 25 years and been 7 years a citizen of the United States, and who shall not, when elected, be an inhabitant of that state in which he shall be chosen. Representatives and direct taxes shall be apportioned among the several states which may be included within this union, according to their respective numbers, which shall be determined by adding to the whole number of free persons, including those bound to service for a term of years, and excluding Indians not taxed, 3/5 of all other persons. And we should go on. Let's see. Congress of the United States, and within every subsequent term of 10 years, in such manner as they shall by law direct. The number of representatives shall not exceed one for every 30,000, but each state shall have at least one representative. The state of New Hampshire shall be entitled to choose 3, Massachusetts 8, Rhode Island and Providence Plantations 1, Connecticut 5, New York 6, New Jersey 4, Pennsylvania 8, Delaware 1, Maryland 6, Virginia 10, North Carolina 5, South Carolina 5, and Georgia has 3. I'm just going down through here, and this is part of the Constitution that we have, and it goes into detail about the Vice President of the United States shall be the President of the Senate, but shall have no vote unless they be equally divided. The Senate shall choose their other officers, and also a President pro tempore in the absence of the Vice President, or when he shall exercise the office of the President of the United States. The Senate shall have the sole power to try all impeachments. When sitting for that purpose, they shall be on oath or affirmation. When the President of the United States is tried, the Chief Justice shall preside, and no person shall be convicted without the concurrence of 2/3 of the members present. The judgment in cases of impeachment shall not extend further than to removal from office, and disqualifications to hold and enjoy any office of honor, trust, or profit under the United States. But the party convicted shall nevertheless be liable and subject to indictment, trial, judgment, and punishment, according to law. The Congress shall assemble at least once in every year, and such meeting shall be on the first Monday in December, unless they shall by law appoint a different day. Each house shall be the judge of elections, returns, and qualifications of its own members, and majority of each shall constitute a quorum to do business, but a smaller number may adjourn for the day-to-day and may be authorized to compel the attendance of absent members in such manner and under penalties as each house may provide. Each house may determine the rules of its proceedings, punish its members for disorderly behavior, and with the concurrence of 2/3 expel a member. Each house shall keep a journal of its proceedings and from time to time publish that, excepting such parts as may be their judgment require secrecy, and the yeas and nays of the members of either house on any question shall, at the desire of 1/5 of those present, be entered into the journal. Neither house during the session of Congress shall, without the consent of the other, adjourn for more than 3 days, nor any other place than that in which the two houses shall be sitting. And then just goes on to tell more. All bills for raising revenue shall originate in the House of Representatives, but the Senate may propose or concur with amendments as on other bills. Every bill which shall have passed the House of Representatives and the Senate shall, before it becomes a law, be presented to the President of the United States. If he approves it, he shall sign it. But if not, he shall return it with his objections to the House in which it shall have originated, who shall enter the objections at large on their journal and proceed to reconsider it. If after such reconsider 2/3 of that House shall agree to pass the bill, it shall be sent together with the objections to the other House, by which it shall likewise be reconsidered. And if approved by 2/3 of that House, it shall become law. But in all such cases, the votes of both houses shall be determined by yeas and nays, and the names of the person voting for and against the bill shall be entered on the journal of each house respectively. If any bill shall not be returned by the President within 10 days, Sundays excepted, after it shall have been presented to him, the same shall be a law, in like manner as if he signed it, unless the Congress by their adjournment prevent its return, in which case it shall not be law. Every order, resolution, or vote to which the concurrence of the Senate and House of Representatives may be necessary, except on a question of adjournment, shall be presented to the President of the United States, and before the same shall take effect, shall be approved by him, or being disapproved by him, shall be repassed by the 2/3 of the Senate and the House of Representatives, according to the rules and limitations prescribed in the case of a bill. The Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes, to borrow money on the credit of the United States, to regulate commerce with foreign nations and among the several states and in the Indian tribes, to establish a uniform rule of naturalization and uniform laws on the subject of bankruptcy throughout the United States, to coin money, regulate the value thereof and of foreign coin, and fix the standard and weight and measures, to provide for the punishment of counterfeiting the securities in the current coin to the United States, to establish post office and post roads, to promote the progress of science and useful arts by securing for limited times to authors and inventors the exclusive right to their respective writings and discoveries. Well, they shouldn't. When do they get to keep it anyway? If you make a patent on it, it's yours, right? To define and punish piracies and felonies committed on the high seas and offenses against the law of nations, declare war, grant letters of marque and reprisal, and make rules concerning captures of land and water, to raise and support armies, but no appropriation of money to that use shall be longer term than 2 years, to provide and maintain a navy, to make rules for the government and regulations of the land and naval forces, to provide for calling forth the militia, to execute the laws of the Union, suppress insurrections, and repel invasions, to provide for organizing, arming, and disciplining the militia, and for governing such part of them as may be employed in the service of the United States, reserving to the states respectively the appointment of the officers and the authority of training the militia according to the discipline prescribed by Congress, to exercise exclusive legislation in all cases whatsoever over such district not exceeding 10 miles square as may by census of particular states, and the acceptance of Congress become the seat of the government of the United States, and to exercise like authority over all places purchased by the consent of the legislature of the state in which the same shall be for the elections of ports, magazines, arsenals, dockyards, and other needful buildings, and to make all laws which shall be necessary and proper for carrying into execution the foregoing powers and all other powers vested in by this Constitution in the government of the United States or in any department or office thereof. They say no bill of attainder or ex post facto law shall be passed. The privilege of wit of habeas corpus shall not be suspended. No tax or duty shall be laid on articles exported from any state. No preference shall be given by any regulation of commerce or revenue to the post of one state over those of another. Nor shall vessels bound to or from one state be obliged to enter, clear, or pay duty to another. No money shall be drawn from the treasury, but in the consequence of appropriations made by law, and a regular statement and account of the receipts and expenditures of all public money shall be published from time to time. No title of nobility shall be granted by the United States, and no person holding any office of profit or trust under them shall, without the consent of Congress, accept or of any present moment, office, or title of any kind whatsoever from any king, prince, or foreign state. No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, federation, grant letters of marque or reprisals, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin in tender in the payment of debt, pass any bill of attainder, ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grants any title of nobility. No state shall, without the consent of Congress, lay any impost or duties on imports or exports, except that which may be necessary for executing the inspection laws, and the net produce of all duties and imposts laid by any state on imports or exports shall, for the use of the Treasury of the United States, and all such laws shall be subject to the revision and control of Congress. No state shall, without the consent of Congress, lay any duty on tonnage, keep troops or ships of war in the time of peace, enter into agreement or compact with another state or a foreign power, or engage in war unless actually invaded or in such immediate danger as will not admit of delay. And then the executive power, it goes on to say about the about the president. We get in there deeper. I wanted to go into this. And no person except a natural-born citizen or a citizen of the United States at the time of the adoption of this Constitution shall be eligible to the office of president. Neither shall any person be eligible to that office who shall not have attained to the age of 35 years and been 14 years a resident within the United States. Okay, and it goes on to say about the removal and okay, and in his office, he shall take the following oath or affirmation. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of the President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States of America. The President shall be the Commander-in-Chief of the Army. Give me chill bumps all over me. Navy of the United States and of the militia of the several states when called into actual service of the United States. He may require the opinion in writing of the principal officer in each of the executive departments upon any subject relating to the duties of the respective offices, and he shall have power to grant reprisals and pardons for offenses against the United States, except in cases of impeachment. I think Nixon was Ford. Let's see, court. Ambassador, okay, the president shall have the power to fill all the vacancies. I wanted to read this one thing to you right here. And the Congress shall have the power to declare punishment of treason, but no attainder of treason shall work corruption of blood or forfeiture except during the life of that person. Okay, Article 4. Okay, all right. And then, right here it is. The Constitution and the laws of the United States shall be made in the pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby. Anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding. Did you hear that, people? Huh? Let me read that again to you, okay? Okay, under the authority of the United States shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound, tied up, you got to do it, bound thereby. Anything in the Constitution or laws of any state, that's our Constitution, and Georgia makes a Constitution, if anybody that has a Constitution in their state, if it overrides, it does not override or laws, that's a convicted felon law, of any state to be the contrary notwithstanding. In other words, it ain't no good. The senators and representatives before mentioned and the members of the several state legislatures and just both the United States and the several states shall be bound by oath of affirmation to support this Constitution, but no religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to the office of public trust under the United States. Ratification of the conventions of the United States shall be sufficient for the establishment of the Constitution between the states, so ratifying the same. Done in the convention by unanimous consent of the state president, the 17th day of September in the year of our Lord 1787, and of the independence of the United States of America, the 12th in witness, whereof we have hereunto subscribed our names. George Washington, President and Deputy from Virginia. In convention, Monday, September the 17th, 1787. President of the states of New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Mr. Hamilton from New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. The preceding Constitution be laid before the United States in Congress assembled, and that it, in the opinion of the convention, that it should afterwards be submitted to the convention of delegates, chosen in each state by the people thereof, under the recommendation of the legislature for their assent and ratification, and that each convention ascending to and ratifying the same should give notice thereof to the United States in Congress assembled. Resolved, that it is the opinion of the convention, that as soon as the convention of the 9 states shall have ratified this Constitution, the United States in the Congress assembled should fix a day on which electors should be appointed by the states which shall have ratified the same, and the day on which the electors should assemble to vote for the president, and the time and the place for commencing proceeding under this Constitution. That after such publication the electors should be appointed and senators and representatives elected. The electors should meet on the day fixed with elections of the president and should transmit their votes certified, signed, sealed, and directed as the Constitution requires. For the Secretary of the United States and Congress assembled, that the senators and representatives should convene at the time and place assigned. That the senators should appoint a president of the Senate in the sole purpose of receiving, opening, and counting votes for the president, and that he shall be chosen to Congress together with the president, should without delay proceed to execute this Constitution. By unanimous order of the convention, George Washington, President William Jackson, the Bill of Rights. Okay, well, next time we'll get into the Bill of Rights with a little bit more of this Constitution, and I hope you got a little education today, and it's there, man. It's all, and I send you Mitchell Aaron O. Sr., 301 Hobart Valley Road, Toccoa, Georgia, 30577. Send me a stamp addressed envelope, self-addressed envelope, and I'll send you the Constitution. Good day.